We've heard countless stories of burnt out Imperial soldiers, pilots, and even admirals defecting to the Rebel Alliance in hopes of destroying the tyrannical and malicious government that these Imperial defectors had come to hate. In saying this, however, after hearing all these heroic stories of Imperials defecting to the rebellion and playing pivotal roles in its success, one has to ask if it ever worked the other way around, and if there were ever any stories of members of the Rebel Alliance defecting to the Empire. Throughout this video, we will be highlighting the only documented member of the rebellion to ever willingly betray and undermine the Alliance in order to fight for the Galactic Empire. Egotistical and brutal by nature, Geetsly was a human male recruited by the Rebel Alliance sometime around the Battle of Yavin. He was quick to question orders and believed his skill was superior to many within the rebellion. These negative traits were later amplified and made apparent following the destruction of the Death Star, where Geetsly was conscripted to take the place of fallen starfighter pilot Biggs Darklighter, who ironically, prior to his death, had been an Imperial defector himself. In saying this, however, despite his aloof and abrasive personality, Geetsly was a relatively good X-Wing pilot, flying and fighting with Luke Skywalker and the Red Squadron on numerous occasions. On one particular routine Imperial raid on Yavin 4, however, Geetsly was tasked with providing aerial defense around the Great Temple whilst Luke Skywalker and Wedge Antilles extracted two high-ranking rebel officers who were trapped inside amid all the chaos. Geetsly ended up saving the group after they were defenseless and confronted by a pair of Imperial scout walkers in the main hangar bay. With that said, however, the straw that broke the camel's back came in the form of a routine mission to Dantooine. Skywalker and the Red Squadron had planned to meet a rebel sympathizer wishing to defect from the Empire, and everything seemed to be going to plan. As the team approached, however, they realized the meeting had been compromised by Storm Commandos, and the rebel sympathizer, Tycho Selshu, who would later become an ace rebel pilot, was imprisoned in a makeshift Imperial camp. This subsequently led Luke Skywalker to make the decision that he should infiltrate the camp alone in order to avoid any form of Imperial detection and to get the prisoner out with as little blood possible. Geetsly, however, voiced his outward disapproval of the plan and said to Skywalker, I quote, "What do you mean stay behind? You're gonna need my help to get out of there in one piece." Regardless of the protests, however, Skywalker stayed resolute and journeyed forward, leaving the remainder of the strike team to stay with the ships. In a cruel twist of fate, however, the team was ambushed and slaughtered, leaving only one survivor. That survivor, of course, being Geetsly. After managing to escape with Skywalker and the rescued prisoner, Geetsly began to question his ideology and identity within the Alliance. He eventually came to the conclusion that he didn't suit the rebellion, and made plans to defect as soon as possible. During a mission to save a group of rebel scientists on the planet of Raltir, Geetsly initially aided the Red Squadron and assisted them in fighting the Imperial Commando forces stationed on the planet. As the battle progressed, however, Geetsly made up his mind and surrendered himself to an Imperial Storm Commando convoy, marking his official defection to the Galactic Empire. Geetsly went on to climb the Imperial ranks and fought in many battles against the Rebel Alliance, not afraid to use his knowledge of their strategies against them. Geetsly, however, was humbled when he was almost killed by former comrade Wedge Antilles after a huge dogfight and chase that resulted in Geetsly's ship being critically damaged and crashing into a Genoshan Canyon wall. Geetsly, however, miraculously survived the incident and was later promoted to captain, even receiving Darth Vader's good graces. He went on fighting up until his death at the hands of Han Solo at the Battle of Endor, ultimately being outmatched by the experienced jeweler's sleight of hand. Geetsly, however, had no regret serving the Empire. He viewed the faction as a peacekeeping entity and the rebels as terrorists, willing to disrupt the peace whatever the cost. Regardless of your personal opinions, Geetsly died as a hero to the Empire and to himself, and as a result was one of the only original members of the Rebel Alliance to die fighting for the Empire. I know the comments get pretty heated when it comes to Rebels vs Imperials, however I want to hear your guys' comments on which faction was, in your opinion, fundamentally better for the galaxy. And to add to this, I'm going to link a straw poll in the description below for you all to vote on. As always guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.